I'm a twice appointed Ron DeSantis Democrat, as my socialist opponent likes to point out.
Nothing scares a DeSantis Democrat like a Democratic socialist. Oliver Larkin is a nightmare for the establishment who grew Jared Moskowitz in a lab somewhere. And when I got a chance to talk with Oliver Larkin, it was absolutely clear why. A smart, focused, unbuyable candidate is the last thing that those ghouls want to see coming.
I think showing maybe the Iranian regime the military capabilities we have in the Middle East by doing maybe some weapons tests out there, they need to understand what we're willing to do, and then we do the diplomacy.
Listen, it is as bad as it can be, but it is not a concentration camp.
What I would like to see actually is a little tougher language coming out of the Trump administration. I'm to the right of this issue to the J.D. Vance Witkoff approach, and I agree, quite frankly, more with Senator Lindsey Graham and probably Senator Tom Cotton.
Let me just take a moment to say real quick, rest in piss, Lindsey Graham, you closet goblin. Jared Moskowitz is unironically aligned with the monster who was Lindsey Graham. You heard him say himself, he's closer to Graham on Iran than he is to the left. Well, this is what that monster was saying about Gaza.
This is a war.
No, October 7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
survival. And then they
survival,
flattened Gaza.
Just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we? So, my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way.
That's who Jared agrees with. He's become so vile that the Sun-Sentinel in Florida refused to give him their usual endorsement. And not surprisingly, instead of telling the truth, Moskowitz would rather run and hide somewhere while he makes up lies about Oliver. When asked why he refused to participate in an interview, he said, "I'm not going to platform him. He's running against me solely on my religion." The real reason is because he knows that he's been running PR for Israel for the last 2 years. And when people actually learn about what he's been up to and learn about Oliver Larkin, he's absolutely cooked. And I mean ruined. You tell me that these policies wouldn't work anywhere in the U.S.
Number one, it's Medicare for all. The United States is the wealthiest nation on earth not to guarantee healthcare is a right. We spend twice as much per capita as our peer nations with worse healthcare outcomes. So I believe an expanded and improved Medicare for all with coverage for vision, hearing, dental, mental health care, reproductive health care, including abortion, with no premiums, deductibles, or copays, no one worrying about taking out their wallet in order to go see a doctor. That's number one. Number two, lowering the cost of living. How do we do that? Universal childcare, paid family and medical leave, fast and affordable public transportation that we can invest in to break traffic gridlock in South Florida. And number three, we have to end our addiction to these endless wars overseas. When we see the United States entering into an illegal war with Iran, when we continue to send billions of dollars uncritically to a foreign military in Israel that is committing genocide and apartheid, and every dollar that we're spending on these wars overseas is a dollar that we're not investing in healthcare, housing, education. So it's really about ensuring people's healthcare, lowering the cost of living, and ending our addiction to foreign wars so that we can invest in the things that we deserve here in the United States.
Those pointless forever wars are exactly the sort of issue that Moskowitz is afraid to have to publicly admit that he supports. In fact, it seems like the more people learn about what their rep is doing behind their backs, the more they find reason to distance themselves from the DeSantis Democrat, like the AFL-CIO, who refused to endorse Moskowitz. During a closed-door vote, some labor leaders raised concerns Larkin had flagged to them, including about Moskowitz becoming the first Democrat to join Doge in late 2024. It turns out that Moskowitz is a Doge Democrat, too. It's almost like the Corpo Nepo baby doesn't actually have the working class in mind. Or maybe do-nothing Democrat is more like it. It's really, really easy to criticize this Republican light representative. Even the GOP that he is so pleased to work with don't want anything to do with him. Lazy little Jared Moskowitz has done absolutely nothing for Florida during his tenure in Congress, and it's no wonder his own party is fed up with him, said NRCC spokesperson Maureen O'Toole. Unfortunately for Moskowitz, Oliver Larkin and his Socialists are surging, and they're coming for him in this primary. See, the problem with tying yourself to the Republicans for electability is that they suck shit and aren't at all electable. The GOP is a sinking ship, and their gerrymandering tricks might not have been enough to save them.
Evidence of going door to door is that Republicans have dummy-mandered this seat. They thought that they could overreach and get themselves a few more congressional seats in Florida. And what we found is that with non-party affiliated voters, independent voters breaking so strongly towards Democrats, and just the enthusiasm gap that we see right now. Democrats are so motivated to oppose ICE, to oppose DOJ, to oppose not just Donald Trump, but Ron DeSantis and everything we see happening at the state level. And Republicans, they got what they voted for, and they're also suffering from the cost of living crisis. They also see not the savings that Elon Musk had promised, but just the slashing of government services that we all rely on. And so I think there's a real opportunity here, and that the national media just frankly has not picked up on it yet. And I think what the Democratic establishment sees is when they see a narrow margin, when they see the NRCC coming in and targeting a seat, they think that just the most centrist, corporate-aligned candidate is going to be the most electable one. But what voters on the ground are actually saying is, we want someone that's going to rally the base, that's going to speak to these bold universal policies that we want to see, like Medicare for all, like abolishing ICE, like a Green New Deal, like a $25 minimum wage. And these are things that Jared Moskowitz is on the wrong side of the equation of. Standing in opposition to the Democratic voters that really want to see a change in this district.
I haven't seen anyone as impressive as Oliver in a long time. And what the polling shows us is that when people learn who he is, they love him. Moskowitz wins when voters are asked who would they vote for if the election were held today. But when respondents are presented with positive biographies for both Moskowitz and Larkin, the situation changes dramatically. While Moskowitz keeps most of his support, almost 2/3 of undecided voters shift to Larkin, and he blows Moskowitz out of the water. This just proves that Democratic Socialist policies can work anywhere, even in the South. There is something very real brewing in the bayou, or I guess on the beach in this case. Spread the word about Oliver Larkin, and if you're in Florida, throw him your support.
Go to our website, www.oliverforcongress.com, and chip in some money. We have just a few weeks left. We're less than 6 weeks to go, and ballots are being mailed out right now for vote by mail. So donate some money, volunteer on our website as well. You can sign up to Canvass if you're local. You can phone bank if you're anywhere else in the country, and help spread the word online. We need to raise awareness. So tell your friends, your family who may be living locally, or create your own content. Talk about, why you're so inspired to see these Democratic Socialist candidates running and winning all across the country, because we know that Florida is worth fighting for, and that if we can win in Florida, it's possible anywhere in the country. So no matter where you are, this race is incredibly relevant to your life because it could change politics across the entire nation. So oliverforcongress.com is where you can find all of that. Follow us on social media.
You heard him, folks. Check out oliverforcongress.com. It's in the description. And donate or volunteer if you can. Subscribe to U.S. Democratic Socialists. I'm Tony Hinderman, and I'll catch you next time.